Okay.
Okay, so now we have our butter, and we're pretending like it's melting. And guess where I got my honey?
Farmer's market.
Yes, they sell this honey. I think they have their own farm, their own bee farm. I talked to the lady.
What does this should say? Yeah, Torrance, California. There you go.
And so I go over there and I buy this, and I buy beets.
Support your community.
Wonderful. Yeah, I love the farmer's market.
Well, now why do you not use sugar?
I prefer honey. I think it's healthier. You know, the recipe does call for a half a cup of sugar, and I wrote or honey because that's what I prefer.
Okay.
But and I think it gives it a nice flavor because this is wildflower, so it gives it a nice texture and a nice flavor.
Okay.
So, Kara, if you will,
use a half a cup of honey.
And we'll get. Can you hand me that spoon, honey? That big spoon. Thank you. All the rest will come with it. That's
now, Kara, how old are you?
6.
Do you help your grandma make bread?
Yeah.
You do? I bet you have a fun grandma, huh?
We had fun. Did you help me knead the bread before, you and Zane? Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, when I go up to visit my son in Placerville, the kids say, oh, make some Grammy bread, because we usually make, French toast, or last time I was up there, he asked if we could make hamburger buns, so he wouldn't have to go to the store.
Oh my gosh, so you made hamburger buns?
Yeah, I made the double batch like I'm making today, and then I made it into hamburger buns.
Wow, I bet those were awesome hamburgers.
He was impressed.
Well, I can imagine.
He was impressed.
Yeah,
Okay.
in fact, we just had hamburgers last night.
Did you?
And they were good, but I can't imagine with a real homemade bun.
They're nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're different, and of course, it's all pure ingredients. There's no preservatives or anything.
Once you have that, you get spoiled. We'd need to have you come down every time I make hamburgers.
Okay.
Okay, now we do a half cup of honey.
Half a cup of honey.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're going to add, let's see, can you hand me the salt? That's 2 teaspoons of salt.
2 teaspoons of salt, okay.
Thank you, sweetie. We'll just dump that right in.
All right.
And then this is our baking soda, and I read if you put baking soda in, it activates the yeast even better.
So that helps it to rise even more. Okay.
So this is our baking soda.
Okay.
We'll dump that in. Okay, now you want to beat this. This is unusual for bread, this recipe, because, will we forget?
Uh-oh.
Our egg. Kara's going to hand me the egg, because we don't want to forget Mr. Egg, do we?
One egg.
1 egg.
Okay.
You can actually double this recipe if you want to make 4 loaves. It's an even thing, so you can increment, so you can double it. Then I'm going to add 3 to 4 cups of flour in the beginning.
Okay.
Because you don't want this to be real thick at first, because if you have just a regular mixer like I do, well,
And you're going to beat it with a mixer.
Yes, for 4 minutes.
Now I noticed we'll put in the yeast later, right? Or are you not?
Yes,
you're not putting in the yeast?
because we're pretending like this milk is still hot.
Okay.
And we don't want to mix that yeast with
Got
this. And so we kind of turn it on slow here a little bit. There we go. You can see that it's starting to mix up. And I'm not going to beat it for the full 4 minutes, just enough so you can tell what we're doing.
So normally you put 4 cups in, and you beat it for what, 4 minutes, you said?
Yes.
In the beginning?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can see that it's trying to come up the beaters. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the yeast, and that'll give it a little more liquid so that it'll stay down better. But you see, you couldn't, with this type of a mixer, if you had the heavy-duty one like the professionals have, you could actually beat it with all of it. So I'm going to pour in the yeast, and then if you can you
Now we need to scrape that out?
Yes, if you would, that'd be nice. Thank you.
Okay.
Should be used up all the water. That's all right, though. It's still good. Okay.
There we go.
Great.
Little blob.
And then you just beat this for 4 minutes
Okay.
at a kind of a medium speed. You can see that that's thinned it out. And what this does is, actually this flour is called Better for Bread flour.
Okay.
And instead of using all-purpose, which does work for bread, you want that gluten. You see how it's already starting to get real doughy?
Right.
That's the gluten in it. And the Better for Bread is actually made for the electric bread makers.
Huh.
But this works better. Oh dear, there it goes. So, well, anyway, you do that for 4 minutes, and then kind of take your beaters off.
Okay, so we've done this for 4 minutes, and then now we're going to add the rest of our flour?
Yes, we're going to add it slowly, and actually it takes 7 cups of flour.
Wow.
But you never want to just dump it in all at once because different batches
get too globby, right?
Right. Different. So I just add usually a cup and a half at a time, and then I just start stirring it. And you can tell it's starting to look like bread dough.
Mary, when we it takes your yeast approximately 10 to 15 minutes to rise, right?
Yes.
Okay, so do you, in the meantime, do you try to have everything set up and out so you can just, you know, bam, put the yeast in? Because if it sits too long, it's going to flatten out, isn't it?
No, it would never. I'll tell you what it will do. It will come up over that bowl and onto the counter. It's alive. Yeah. It would never.
But it won't hurt it if it does that. Okay.
No.
So you're, you know, let's say you forget, or you're having to do something and you're doing something else, and it's not imperative that you have everything together and get the bread made within 30 minutes.
No, but once I start making the bread, I really like to, you know, even if the phone rings, I like to just go ahead and let the answering machine get it, because it isn't that it's real critical, and it wouldn't certainly do anything in 5 or 10 minutes. So if it's a quick phone call, I'll take it, but otherwise.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're going to take a quick break, and while we finish this up, you come back and see us because we're going to finish up this bread, and I hope you're taping this show because we're learning quite a lot here. We'll see you in a minute. Whoops.
Hello.
So what you have quite a bit to go.
Well, I'm going to need this. Probably, are we off?
No.
Oh.